Hello and welcome into another Short Player Profiles. I am your host with the most, the fantasy football joker, Jack Lusney. Please make sure you go follow me on Twitter, on YouTube, and on Facebook. As always, check in with fantasyfootballadviceforum.com, at FFAdviceForum on Twitter. You can become a content creator yourself. You can post your own stuff and have a great platform to do that. You can also just come in and interact with the community, interact with fantasy experts and a joker, and get your questions answered. You can join leagues. You can read articles that are exclusive to the site. There's all kinds of great content going up all the time, and there's an app coming in October. So get in on the ground floor before it really starts popping off. Today, T is for Travis Etienne. People talk about how Trevor Lawrence had a true rookie season because his actual rookie season was destroyed by Urban Meyer. I think people forget that Travis Etienne basically has the same story as Trevor Lawrence. They are essentially attached in that way. Now with Travis Etienne, unfortunately, it was because he had a severe injury that cost him his rookie season. But we saw last year that if you really count last year as his rookie season, and think about it more as like, okay, last year it was his true rookie season, so now he's coming into his sophomore season. I think he would be much higher in average draft position if not for that getting injured that first year. Because you look at last year, he had 220 carries for 1,125 yards, 5 touchdowns, and then he didn't have any receiving touchdowns, but he still caught 35 balls for 316 yards. So he still padded his stats a little bit. Now, he didn't average more than 5 targets a game, so I'm not saying that he's in any way, shape, or form a PPR option, but what he is a highly efficient running back in a Doug Peterson system. And I love Doug Peterson and the way that he treats running backs. He has always been good to us with fantasy running backs going back to the days of Shady McCoy. So I really love Travis Etienne's upside, and what I really love too is two things. I'm not dissuaded at all by the fact that they drafted Tank Bigsby in the 3rd round. First of all, Bigsby presents as more of a thumper and more of a grinder, which is the type of player that you need to be able to handle a secondary workload for a running back like a Travis Etienne, who is not going to carry the ball 350 times. But what he is very efficient, and especially in leagues. So, for example, I'm in currently on, it's like an IDP, so it's a defensive tournament essentially. Shout out to hashtag FF7s. Shout out to Iggy and Esteemed Outlaw. Go find them on Twitter if you haven't already. But in that specific league, just getting back to my main point here, there's a big bonus. I think it's 3 points for 40 plus rush. So like if a player runs and that run goes for more than 40 yards, like that gets pretty big bonus. And there are only so many players in the NFL at the running back position that are like built to do that on purpose, and Travis Etienne is one of them, and that's why I really like him. I would love him in best ball, and I love his draft position. Every time that I've basically missed on Najee Harris in that like 4th round, where a lot of times I've taken a couple wide receivers and maybe an elite tight end, or in Superflex I always go quarterbacks early for the most part, and then when I'm coming back in that 4th round, I'm looking for what's the stud running back that I'm going to lean on, and then I'll my running back 2 position, that's what I'm going to have to basically work on during the year in terms of like attacking waivers and figuring out trades and stuff. When I have not gotten Najee Harris, I've been just as comfortable with Travis Etienne. I prefer Etienne to someone like a Kenneth Walker, who's going in about the same range, because they drafted Tank Bigsby, but Seattle took Zach Charbonnet, and they have higher quality wide receivers that I feel like will get a bigger target share. And so I feel like that backfield's less predictable than what's going to happen in Jacksonville. As always, thank you so much for joining. Please like, subscribe, share, comment on the video. It always helps with the algorithms. And make sure that you are going to fantasyfootballadviceforum.com using my exclusive code Joker420 to get that 10% off.